PennsylvaniaBeer.com and Bison Beverage of Lewisburg presents Beer Time.
Beer Time. I'm your host, Scott Bernstein, and our producer.
Here's Chad.
Hey, that was good. I like it.
Jump right in there.
How'd you like
Steven Shriver. Jason Rippon in the house. And we are talking beer and football and all the things we love about the fall.
Two of my favorite things.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, right now I'm a pretty happy camper because I've been retired for the last
you lucky
year and
bastard,
3
you.
months year and 3 months from 37 years in education. And I'm here today because I know you. Known you for a long time.
37 years in education. Did you ever want to just rip their heads off and just smash them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But only very few of them. Most of them were really great, but there was a couple that, you know, those thoughts crossed your mind. But overall, it was a owner-operator it was a really good
thank
ride.
you for your service.
No, well, thanks. I appreciate that.
Jason Rippon.
I'm an owner-operator here in the Valley of 3 McDonald's restaurants, Lewisburg, Mifflinburg, and Milton, and also a lifelong Cowboys fan, also in the center of Pennsylvania, so go figure that one out.
Absolutely.
But, I'm here because you got me, you hooked me with beer. You know, you said beer and football, two of my favorite things.
And day drinking.
Yes, and day
So
drinking.
let's put this with a Happy Meal. Is that possible? Will there ever be a McDonald's with beer?
Yes, over in Europe they're doing it. They've been doing it for
in
years.
Europe?
Mick Wine, Mick Beer.
Holy
they do.
shit.
Yeah.
That's really
Well,
cool.
let's go random. God, you're so lucky. So lucky. So here we go. We offer this at the Bison Beverage, Coronas, and free limes. So come on by the Bison Beverage in Lewisburg, and you will get free limes with your Coronas. There you go, my friend.
I tell you, the free limes is a great touch. Absolutely.
It is.
It really is.
You know, for pennies on the dollar, why not, you know?
Right.
Now, Chad, I am not going to throw one at you
Okay.
because it's open,
Yeah, I understand.
but I would love to. I know every time I'm always throwing one at you.
Okay.
Now, why do they put limes in? Why do they put the lime
You want to
in
answer
there?
that?
Do you
No,
guys know
because I don't know the answer.
I thought it was to kill the urine the urine taste.
Was it flies? Here you go, Chad.
Here, give me some of that stuff. Thank you.
Is it flies? They wanted to keep the flies away down in Mexico? Is that the thing behind it?
I'm not sure. They use a lot of lime in cooking and things too, don't they? I think.
Because lime's in a lot of drinks. I know Bud Lime is the official beer. Well, I should say Bud Light is the official beer for the NFL. But Bud Lime is a big producer, a big sale.
I think limes are just plentiful and it's a good compliment. You know, it's the only drink that I like fruit in is the Corona.
I agree.
It just goes very well.
Now,
You don't
I had,
like the
no,
blue
wait a
moon and the
minute.
orange? What about the orange and the blue moon?
I don't.
Yeah,
I was
like
just
the
going.
orange
I
and
was
the
just
blue
going
moon.
there, Chad. Absolutely.
Oh, sorry, Steve.
I probably no. That's fine. I probably enjoy an orange and a blue moon as much, if not more, than a lime and a Corona. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, it's the only one that I enjoy.
well, the Blue Moon gives you a frothier head. So when you put the orange on top of it and it's bigger, it's you can do it in an open glass. For some reason, I don't have the lime sitting there in the corner of my Corona when I get it tapped. It has
Correct.
to go bottle.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
And I feel bad when people buy Corona in cans, like they're at the beach or sitting by the pool. They have to jam it in the can. It doesn't feel right. Doesn't look right. Because this is one of only a few, I think, Miller Lite in a clear glass.
Yeah.
Shriver loves it in the can.
Well, that only took about what was that, Chad? About a minute and a half.
We are 4 minutes. We are
There's a
4
great
minute into the
commercial.
program. We are 4 minutes in.
4 minutes in.
I see the
Oh no, I meant Blue Moon. Is that what we're talking about?
I see the gloves are off.
Well, being a Cowboys fan, that is
Well,
something.
we're all getting it in a can lately.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later. That will be a therapy session. I will put on my therapist hat, and we will discuss that.
It's a big can.
But now let me ask you this. Tom Brady is now a part owner of an NFL team, the Raiders. And now he cannot. Let me see if I can get this right. Part of the problem is Tom Brady, as an announcer, is not permitted to be in another team's facility, is not permitted to witness practices, not permitted to attend broadcast production meetings either in person or virtually, prohibited publicly criticizing game officials and other clubs. He's not allowed to do anything. How's that work?
Yeah, all those things are things you do as an announcer.
Right.
Yeah.
Or,
Do we finally get him out of the booth and put him into that studio scenario where you have like 5 lunkheads talking about it at halftime and before the game and after the game?
well, you wouldn't have to do all those things. He might have to do some of those, though.
Yeah, well, he's got a big boy contract.
I mean, you need
with
to prepare
Fox.
so you sound educated up there.
What do you get? $370 million with Fox? I mean, how do you get around all that?
I don't think you do. I think it's disqualifying. You have to get the in-depth. He has the experience, Lord knows, with championships and Super Bowl rings and everything. But you need to know what the game time situation is. He's going to read about it like we will.
Now, we saw this week how Jerry Jones unhinged himself, threatening a guy's job.
Yeah, he had a bit of a meltdown.
What's the deal, man? He's got to leave the fair, doesn't he?
You would hope. I've been hoping that for a long time. I like him as an owner, as far as, he's willing to do things, go get players and stuff, but he needs to leave the coach alone, and he needs to back off, absolutely. And he really stepped out of bounds.
Do you think we'll end up with Belichick?
I think Stephen Jones is going to be the one that makes those decisions. I think Jerry eventually, sunsets, but I'm not sure that he's going to make any more big moves.
Do you think Belichick ends up as a Raider because of the connection with Brady?
No, and getting back to him with the Cowboys, part of me could see it because Belichick doesn't like to talk and Jones does, so that might be a good combination.
That's true. That was a Parcells thing.
Sure, yeah.
Well, Parcells liked to talk. He was an entertainer.
Yes, he was.
I loved Parcells. I thought Parcells was fascinating to watch.
He's very sharp.
I could watch
Absolutely.
Parcells all day long.
Yeah, he's a sharp guy.
Now, you've gone to a lot of games, Jason. Any stories you can share with us going to a game? I know there was an issue wearing a Terrell Owens jersey in Philadelphia, and it was a Cowboys Terrell Owens jersey.
Yeah, I attended the game where it was T.O.'s homecoming to Philly after he defected and really just, screwed the Eagles. Refused to play. Remember doing he was doing push-ups and
crazy.
barbells or whatever in his driveway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he came back to Philly wearing a Cowboys jersey, and that was a 4:00 game on I think it was November, but it was very, very warm. And boy, the birds were crazy looking for blood that time. So I had a guy throw a cheesesteak at me. I took my jacket off and showed. I always wear my colors. I always wear my Cowboys stuff. And when I said to my one friend, I said, "Hey, film this." I got out at the tailgate between the rows of cars, and I took the jacket off. And I got about a 30-second ovation of asshole. They're standing on all the cars and everything and singled me out. So and we went on to lose that game. So after the game was even worse than going in.
Oh, I imagine.
But yeah, it was an event.
Well, there was a time you and I went to a game in Dallas. That was ugly.
Yeah.
That was... And we ended up in this downtown
Did it involve
section.
beer?
Two times.
Oh, there was a lot of beer involved. There was some alcohol.
Well, when you said ugly, I assumed.
We went to
Two
two of
times.
those games.
But the second one, what was that little village we were in outside of Dallas where we ended up at some
Deep Ellum.
party?
Deep Ellum.
And then you started breakdancing at a party.
Yeah.
We didn't know anybody there.
I had my Ware jersey, 94.
Oh, he was so
DeMarcus Ware. He was, Hall of Famer. And we found. I said I want to listen to live music. So we asked people where do you go? They said Deep Ellum. Deep Ellum. What is Deep Ellum? And it's just a row of bars, bluesy bars and stuff.
Ybor City.
And we ended up. Well, first of all, we were drinking on the plane, and then we got there,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
right.
we got escorted by the police, and I mean, how long is this segment?
That's right.
but
we took a ride from the police at
Yeah.
the train station because the train station was shut down in that area. We were stuck in a bad section of town.
Yeah.
And I actually flagged a policeman down completely intoxicated and got a ride. And then nobody talked to us when we went to the other train station.
Yeah, they thought we were undercover or something, so they all scattered. But I ended up I thought it was a wedding party. We walked in, there was live music, and we walked in, it was kind of a Wedding Crashers scene. And it turned out, and I thought I was dancing with the mother of the bride.
Yes,
it was
I
an
did
older
too.
woman, very attractive and well dressed. And I thought, oh, this must be the mother of the bride.
That's right.
So then the good music came on, the stuff that Chad likes to play, and so I was out there, and he's seen me dance once or twice. So
I sure
I went
have.
out
You're a
there,
great dancer.
and I was break dancing, and we found out later that it was the social workers of Dallas. It was a social workers
It was
party.
a retirement party.
Yeah, for somebody for the social workers there. But I thought it was a wedding. That just shows you how many sheets in the bag of whatever I was.
Oh gosh, I
that
remember
was
falling face down in this bar, and you kept buying me shots of Jaeger and surrounding my head, and I woke up an hour
a
later,
Jaeger and a
there was
Corona.
a wall of Jaeger around my head.
It was like a chalk outline of Jaeger shots. But for everyone I put down for you, I put down one myself.
I know. I
So.
just couldn't finish them all. I tried, but I just ended up about 1 a.m. I couldn't do it anymore.
So you and Rumpelstiltskin go way back.
Now, how did Rumpelstiltskin come into play?
Just, I always make up names or songs, things like that, and it was just at your house, and you got that out, and I could never remember the name, so...
We were doing Jaeger shots, and you called it.
We had been doing them for
Rumpelstiltskin.
several games, and that's what came to mind, and you seemed to stick with it, and we've been calling it Rumpelstiltskin ever since.
You got to get a Jaeger machine there at the Bison Beverage. I mean, it's a beverage.
Well, we're not legally allowed to sell drinks of that magnitude. I mean, you think they're going to give me a license?
Chad, you need to get
Probably
one
a
here.
good idea
I'm
to stay
thinking
within
about
the
it.
law the first
I
year
would-
or so.
I'll take a license.
Now, we always do the Jaeger shots and Rumpelstiltskin shots when we're in trouble.
Yes.
They're in trouble.
They're to bail us out.
They're in trouble.
Yeah.
Let me get my therapy out. Is she still behind me?
She is.
Yes.
Yeah, she hasn't moved.
Boy,
And she's
I
still
give her all the credit
optimistic.
in the world putting up with my crap. Putting up with our crap.
So do we.
Yeah, I
do we.
know. Okay. There we go. It sits
There
a
it
little
is.
high.
It's adjustable.
Well, like Bob the Builder, for Christ's sake. I mean,
I think your head's just swelling.
well, that happens.
There
you go. Now
There
you
you
got
go.
it.
Bob
There
the
you go.
Builder. Okay. Tell me, piano, what comes to mind?
Oh, at your house.
Oh, boy.
It's the first I learned that beer might have the same effects that spinach had for Popeye, because I was pretty strong that day.
You did.
Yeah.
You're doing it.
I was
You
strong
were
that
doing
day.
it.
I was. Yeah. What was it? An interception?
It was interception. You lost control.
I was mad.
You were
I was
mad.
mad. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And I
An
went over-
interception to the minus column, I'm thinking, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And it may have even been a pick six, and it spelled doom.
You were
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Not the piano episode.
You weren't there for the piano
No,
episode?
I was
was.
not. I was
No.
not.
If you don't know what it was, I'm
Fill me in on the piano
I'm
episode.
not a big guy. I mean, I work out and things, but this piano I should not have been able to pick up, but I did. I went over. It was just a way
He
to.
was so mad he literally went and picked the piano up.
I did. I just picked it up and dropped it back down, and I thought him and Jen was shit.
Beast mode.
Well, we almost got you fired.
Yeah, we did. We did
We went a
almost.
little crazy with the celebration.
Yeah, was that?
And it was
the-
on tape.
Was that the Atlanta game?
Yeah,
That
it
was the
25 points. In
That was the
final.
bird cage gauntlet or whatever they called
Yeah.
them.
It
where
is.
we played all the bird teams that year.
It is a good story, though.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
story.
We came back from like 25 points down, and kicked a field goal. We just got Zerline, right? We just got
Yeah,
him from
yeah.
the Rams.
Was Dan Quinn
And-
their head coach for Atlanta at that time?
Yes.
He might have- yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yep. And so we were down. It was the final play. It was a long field goal, like a 40-some yard field goal, I believe, for the win. And
I think it was 50 plus.
It may have been.
Yeah, it was long.
And I was pretty excited. Jen was behind us taping it, and just because she knew
We
it
were
was a
all
big-
like huddled with our arms around each other.
Yeah, I mean, we've been
Shaking.
we watch games together as often as we can,
we've
and
seen
it's
a
been
couple
going
hundred
on
of
for
them.
years. So this was a big one, and
big 'un?
a big one, a big one, big one,
Woohoo!
yeah, big one, yeah. Woo!
There it is, baby.
That's like when you hear that at a Cowboys game, that's a good thing for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyhow, so yeah, I just was really excited about this field goal, and I was cheering him on with lots of expletives, to say the least. And anyhow, to get to the best part, so he made the field goal. We won the game, and Jen posted it. And I was out at duty. I worked at the middle school my last 7 years. In Mifflinburg, and I was out at corner duty just watching, kids cross and things like that. And these people kept stopping and saying, "Hey, Shriver, that video is great." And I had no idea what video they were talking about till I went in the building.
To paraphrase the quote, it was to the kicker, addressed to the kicker. Steve says, That's why we pay you all that effing money. And he's screaming.
You better effing make it. And I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. And so I didn't really know what was going on until I got into the building. Once we were all in there, my principal called me in and he said, hey, here's a pretty colorful video with you in it that the superintendent would like you to have your buddy take down as quickly as possible. so
You're scaring the kids was the quote.
Yeah, I was scaring the kids was the quote,
Scaring
which I don't buy at all personally.
You were scaring the
I
kids.
really
Scared
don't.
me.
But I get it. The superintendent wasn't wrong, and I called Jen, and immediately she took it down. But that's just another one of our many, many, many stories. Last year's story may have been the best.
Well, which one?
Oh, you probably don't remember it. You were out for some of it.
Oh, that's right. I knocked myself unconscious during an Eagle-Cowboy game in the final 6 minutes.
Yes, folks, you've heard it here.
That is absolutely right. I tripped. I hit my head on the table. I'm unconscious.
Yeah, just for
it was right about this time of the year.
You guys got to fill me in with the rest. All I know is the next.
Well, the Halloween decorations were out, and he's pacing back and forth as we often do in these tense games. And he goes, what we need to do, and his finger was in the air. What we need to do, and he turned around a tight circle, tripped over the little ottoman, and knocked himself unconscious.
Well, we fell down into a end table, which is why he knocked himself unconscious.
And a jack-o'-lantern and a lamp and everything landed on top of him.
The helmet.
and we all thought he was dead. I mean, he was just laying there twitching a little.
And here's why we thought, because when he went down, this is how we knew he was out. When he went down, at first he was still like moving. And if you've ever seen someone truly pass out, there's that moment, or die, one of those two things, where they just go, bloop. And he did for like about, 8, 10, 12 seconds. And Jen happened to just come out at that time, and we were all just like, And then luckily he kind of got back up, and then
he realized. He said, "Wait a minute! I've never missed a play of the Cowboys. I can't." And he just pulled himself back together. He did. He said, "Do not go to the light." Well, we never figured out though what it was, that emphatic point he was making. What we need to do. And then he gets up, he comes to, Jen's, beside herself.
Your wife was really...
Yeah. She was like,
your boy was there. Your son was there as well.
Yeah.
Well, she probably thought when we got together we were out running around and chasing skirts. Hell no. We knock ourselves unconscious and watch the Cowboys and bitch about it.
And then the next week you guys did a tape chalk line of my body. Which I thought was...
And that comes from love.
Yeah, we did
that. That comes from love.
That's right.
You haven't been this close and, put up with the Cowboys for all these years.
We've been through a lot. So what do you think happens the rest of the season, guys? What do you do with this hot mess that the Cowboys are in? I know we're getting off the beer trail, but this is a therapy session we needed.
I'll tell you. So I am going to San Francisco next week. We have a bye.
Your third game this year.
We have a bye week this week, and I'm going out there to see a close high school friend, lifelong friend, who's a San Fran fan.
Well, that's good. You know why? Because we're superstitious and we're 2-0, and you've been to games this year.
Yes, and exactly. And
on the road at my house, by the way, he came to the last game.
Plus, it's the bye week. We get a little healthier, and let's face it, San Fran's not doing what they were doing last year. They're 3-3 too.
They're beatable.
So it'll be
a
fun.
McCaffrey. I mean, they should be.
Yeah, it'll be.
That's right.
It'll be fun. And you and I both went to. We didn't see each other, but we both went to the
Steelers
Pittsburgh
game, which was, oh my God, was that fun?
I heard that was just.
It was exciting.
I am shocked that the three of us have not attended a game. We have to remedy that, fellas. We have to.
I'm really bad at it.
Can I go?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'd like to go.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
The Four Horsemen.
I
We're the
think we
Four
should go to the
Horsemen.
stadium, personally.
Yeah.
I think we should make the trip
I think
out.
we should make the pilgrimage. Yeah, we should.
I think we
I
should
can
go out
see
to
draft
AT&T.
rules saying, "Will Scott come back alive?" Like a parlay. How drunk will I get?
I think
We'll
you
have
probably
to do another podcast.
The surviving members of the Four Horsemen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Chad, that would be fun because you know what? I don't go to games. I like sitting at home, drinking my beer that doesn't cost $16 and having instant replay and somebody telling me what's right and wrong. And
It's safer in the stadium, at least for you.
Putting me in an opposing team, like I couldn't go to Philly. I wouldn't come out alive.
Don't go to Philly.
it's
Don't
no
go to
fun.
Philly. I've done it too many
I think
times.
the Bills would be a great atmosphere.
I don't know about you, but kudos to
I
the
went to the
Steelers
Bills.
fans, I saw no animosity. I mean, we were there all weekend. We were in bars, the whole works, and there was a ton of Cowboy fans, obviously tons of Steelers fans, and everything was
Giants
great.
fans are classy.
Yep, I agree.
Baltimore are classy. Pittsburgh, they'll give you a ribbing. That's a football town,
Right, but it's nothing you don't feel.
But no, you don't
in
feel
any way.
threatened or
Absolutely.
anything. There's always one guy hanging on the lamppost, like,
Right.
But everyone else is classy.
Now, were the beers what did they offer for beers in the stadium in Pittsburgh? Since you both were there, and that's the most recent account.
Oh, they had Guinness.
Yeah.
Guinness?
They have high end beers. They have Bud Light, whatever.
Yeah, they had all that.
Oh yeah,
But I had a Guinness.
I had Yingling Lager. That's what I drank.
A Guinness for the win.
a Guinness for the win.
Yeah.
You know, it was cool. Real quick, what was cool? So you're at a Steelers stadium, mostly Steelers fans. I ended up sitting next to this family. Parents were both Steelers fans, but the daughter, it turned out she was 14, was a Cowboys fan. And I just told him the story. I mean, I chatted with her a little bit, but it was great because she knew her shit. Because when Dak fumbled, she goes, "That's it, penalties and turnovers. That's what we do." And I turned to Brian and I'm like, "This girl knows her Cowboys. She obviously watches." But it was great. She knew all the names. Like she knew who was hurt. It was really added to my game because at least I had a Cowboys fan on my left. Like we celebrated a little bit when they did good things. And at the end of the game, we went nuts.
We traveled well. I'd say 1 out of 8 were Cowboys fans. Or 1 out of 12. But in New York, it was like it seemed like 1 out of 6 was a Cowboys fan.
Wow.
There was a ton there.
Well, New York is square. It's over in New Jersey.
Yeah.
You got to split with Jet fans.
Yeah.
You got these international airports, easy come, easy go.
I met a ton of people from Dallas. So we went to the Tequila Sunrise after the game. We were there the night before, and then we went afterwards, which I got to give my friend Brian credit. That's why I was out to the game with my best friend, and he's a Steelers fan. So, but he knew I would have a blast at the bar, and I did.
Tequila Sunrise. Now, where is this in Pittsburgh?
Right near the stadium. It
Oh,
was
really?
with walking distance.
Is it loaded with people?
It was packed. It was great. And large majority of them were Cowboys fans. Most of the Steelers fans, I think, went home. And the Facebook post I did with all those selfies with people, those are people
you were like going around
I just went up and met them. I'm like, where are you from? And I would
Cowboy
chat with them. And the majority of those folks were from Dallas.
Outstanding.
And so, but I had a great time. Yeah.
Was it the Hofbrau house? You went there.
Yeah, I went there. Oh,
and I was there.
Hofbrau
You were there.
House?
A German
Was that
place.
It's like
called
a
one
beer
nipple
garden.
bar?
It was like a German beer garden.
Yeah, it's a beer garden.
Well, the waitresses did
beer
have
garden.
lovely outfits, but they were just German beer maids, is what they were. But it was HAUTBRAUS, I believe.
Big,
You know what
big
I would
liter
be
and a
into,
half
guys?
beers.
You know what would really be a lot of fun is to go to a game in Pittsburgh when they play the Eagles and we root like hell for the Steelers, the home team.
Yeah,
That would be fun.
That would be
because
fun.
you know how we feel about the Eagles. Fuck the Eagles. All right? That's a sentiment that we could say all day long. Fuck the Eagles. I just love saying it. Rolls off
That's
my
like
tongue.
our text
Fuck the
sign
Eagles.
off to each other. It's just
That is
like,
our sign off.
yeah, we're not doing so good, but F the Eagles.
Yeah. Okay, so Prescott went 9 for 32. Fuck the Eagles. Everything was good again.
Or we can be talking about something else completely unrelated, and someone will sign off with "fuck the Eagles."
Oh yeah, it's like, I understand you had light surgery and this and that. I hope she's okay. Talking about our wife, and then fuck the Eagles at the end. It's beautiful. Well, guys, this is a lot of fun. I think that we're gonna win 7-8 games this year. It's not gonna be enough. It's gonna be a tough road. How many do you think we got?
I'm going to go with my 6-11. Sadly, looking at their schedule.
No, I don't. You're probably right.
The Giants, and I'm kind of reaching for 2 more.
Yeah.
7, 8. 8's probably the high end.
Yeah. I just. Boy, I'll tell you, I just don't see them winning until like the next 4 or 5 games. It's just
tough.
a gauntlet.
San
Great
Fran,
teams, and we're not good.
They can knock off the Eagles. I mean, that's one of those division
Make
games.
our season.
Yeah,
Ruin it
right,
for them.
right.
Fuck the Eagles.
Well, we go back to the Dave Campos era, right?
We
Early
do.
2000.
The 5 and 11 years. At least we're number one in
There was
defense.
one year we only cheered once, and it was when the defense,
3 years of
like
5
a cornerback or something, ran into the head coach, our head coach, and knocked him on his ass, and we both jumped off independently, high five.
Well, a couple years after, I remember we were at a game in what was Damon's, now Maddie's.
Oh God.
Jesus, who was that?
They changed the name of that restaurant just to protect the innocent.
The innocent. Yeah, I was out of control that night. But there was a fumble recovery.
Yeah.
A 300-pound lineman running for the end zone. I mean, it's the best you can have in football.
Yeah, it was either Ellis or Spears.
This was during their grand opening, so people were
Yeah, it was
lined
the grand opening.
lined out onto the street. We're at the bar, and they're waiting for seats. And this happens, and the guy scoops it, and he's rumbling, stumbling, bumbling down.
300-pound men running.
And he jumps up on the bar stool, and I'm looking over, and I see, families with young kids and everything. And he goes, "Run, you fat bastard."
Run, you fat bastard.
And like if there was a record somewhere, it skipped, and everyone stops. People taking orders, and the place is all chaos. They all stop and look at him. I'm like, "Oh God, we're getting banned."
Run, you fat bastard, with that silly look on my face.
Hey, it was a nice run. We've been here twice.
Well, guys, y'all take care. I just want to thank the Bison Beverage, PennsylvaniaBeer.com. And appreciate you guys coming in.
Thanks for having us. Yeah,
we got to do it
absolutely.
again. If we turn it around, we should keep doing this. Like the Rumpelstiltskin thing.
Sure,
We
absolutely.
got to keep doing it.
I'll bring Grimace, and maybe we can get a streak going.
Okay. Hey, by the way, one quick thing. Have you ever been to a McShack's?
A what?
A McShack's.
A McShacks. No.
No, I haven't.
You've been to a McEverything.
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
you gave me a shirt once that said McSucks after
Yeah.
McNabb.
Yeah. Yep. I
Yeah,
got
you-
that.
How'd you get
That was in Philly, and they were selling them.
Okay.
It's like, I gotta buy that one.
Good. We'll end on that note. Thank you very much, and peace. Take care. Beer is fun.
PennsylvaniaBeer.com and Bison Beverage of Lewisburg presents Beer Time.
This podcast was produced by Stone State Entertainment.